Digital forensic analysis is the art of revealing important information from computer systems and networks. Every piece of evidence can hold key information. From deleted files to timestamps, user activity, and unauthorized traffic, gathering and examining evidence from computer systems and networks can reveal critical insights. But how do we ensure the validity and integrity of this evidence? Documentation plays a crucial role in collecting, preserving, and presenting valid digital proofs. Failure to maintain a thorough record can jeopardize the integrity of the evidence. It's important to understand that there are various processes and tools used to acquire different types of digital evidence from computer hosts and networks. By following strict protocols, these processes not only demonstrate how evidence is acquired, but also establish that it's an accurate representation of the system at the time of the event. Just like DNA or fingerprints, digital evidence is latent, meaning it can't be seen with the naked eye. It requires specialized machines and processes to interpret. Therefore, formal steps must be taken to ensure the admissibility of this evidence in court. Proper documentation is crucial in showing how the evidence was collected and analyzed without any tampering or bias. This is where due process comes into play. Just as the law requires fairness in criminal convictions, forensic investigations must adhere to procedural safeguards to ensure fairness. Anyone involved in the investigation, from technicians to managers, must be aware of these processes to avoid compromising the integrity of the investigation. Defense lawyers will always look for any doubts or mistakes in the evidence or collection process. When information becomes central to a court case, it's essential to preserve it. This concept, known as legal hold, entails suspending routine deletion of electronic or paper records and logs. Regulatory requirements, industry standards, or litigation notices from law enforcement or lawyers can trigger legal holds, leading to the seizure of computer systems as evidence. When information is subject to legal hold, computer systems may be taken as evidence, disrupting the network. To maintain the integrity of the evidence, a chain of custody is established. Host devices and media from the crime scene are carefully labeled, bagged, and sealed using tamper-evident bags. Anti-static shielding is used to protect electronic media from damage. Each piece of evidence is documented on a chain of custody form, recording who collected it, who handled it afterward, what measures were taken for backup and analysis, and where it was stored. This ensures the evidence remains intact and untampered with. Finally, the collected evidence is stored in a secure facility. This not only includes access control, but also environmental control to protect the electronic systems from damage. By following these key elements, proper documentation, due process, legal hold, and chain of custody, digital forensic analysts can ensure the validity and credibility of the evidence they gather. A forensic investigator gathers evidence from many sources, and we will discuss software and hardware sources of potential evidence. We'll also discuss the order in which the evidence needs to be gathered. The process of capturing volatile data follows the order of volatility. We need to preserve the most volatile data first and work our way down to data that is more persistent. If an attack is underway, your computer forensics response team is probably going to capture volatile data before trying to gather data from the hard disk or turning the system off. The order of volatility is RAM, swap files, page files, hard drive, remote logs, archive data. These items must be investigated in this order so that potential evidence is not lost. Each one of these items has its own challenges and potential dangers when acquiring forensic data. Let's look at tools and approaches to acquire and retain data from these items. In a computer forensics investigation, the data on the hard disk drive is a key piece of evidence. A lot of the things that we do on a computer system are saved in some way on the hard disk drive, including virtual memory. A wealth of data is there. In addition, information attached to deleted files may still be on the disk. Therefore, the hard drive itself is a goldmine of evidence for a prosecutor. Caution must be exercised when making a copy of the hard drive. A regular file-for-file copy is not good enough. It needs to be a sector-by-sector copy that includes data formerly deleted but still accessible. RAM is the most volatile of all computer data storage. RAM is cleared when a computer is shut down. Once gone, it cannot be recovered. Data in RAM can be copied as long as the system is running, but should be done only by someone with proper training. The data stored in RAM can have valuable information. Many times malware like worms, viruses, and Trojan horses are created as memory resident only. This makes catching them difficult. Swap files or page files are a virtual extension of RAM. An OS is designed so that if you are running low on RAM, it can place not in use information into the swap or page file on the hard drive to be used later. An admin can determine how much space to allocate to page files. For the forensic investigator, this is another potential source of evidence. The page file data does not automatically delete at shutdown unless you change the default settings. The OS is a virtual treasure trove of evidence. File systems like NTFS and ext4 are the roadmap to where data is stored. There's also a registry, which is a database that stores information about all the applications installed on a computer. Registry keys are folder-like objects that store application-specific information for each application stored in the registry. The recycle bin is where deleted files are placed. Also, the print spooler can be examined to see the print history from a computer. In the last 30 years, technology devices have changed dramatically. With the increase of digital devices, there is an equal increase in devices that may require forensic examination. These devices contain all the evidence a forensic investigator needs. Each device, such as a smartphone, tablet, laptop, and smartwatch, all share common elements, namely RAM, CPU, logs, and storage space. A trained investigator must be familiar with all platforms. Firmware is the basic level of software that controls some hardware. Firmware is stored in read-only, persistent memory. This non-volatile memory does not self-delete and in many cases is not updated. Firmware has become vulnerable to different attacks, like rootkits and even steganography. The hard drive has firmware that can be manipulated by malicious actors. Extracting this data is difficult and requires specialized training and expensive tools. A snapshot can be a useful tool in capturing the exact state of running systems. Snapshots capture volatile data in an ever-changing environment. This tool is not a substitute for the sector-by-sector copy of a disk. The snapshots can be saved for future examinations. Snapshots are valuable only if taken off a running system that is currently experiencing an attack. A cache is stored data that is used to improve the speed of the computing process. There are different caches in a computer system. Address Resolution Protocol, or ARP, matches IP with MAC addresses. This protocol has a built-in caching component that saves CPU time and network bandwidth by referring to the cache. Internet browser history is also cached and can provide valuable evidence regarding search history. Network forensic data plays an important role in an investigation. Network appliances that are important in an investigation are firewall, router, switches, domain controllers, DHCP servers, application servers, and web proxy servers. There are also applications on the network, including intrusion detection and intrusion protection systems. In computer forensics, an artifact is an object that contains forensic value. Forensic value is evidence found on hardware or in areas like registry hives that show indicators of compromise. These indicators are a digital sign of a breach. It is important to preserve these artifacts and understand their value to a forensic investigation. That's it for this lesson.